Hey you, yeah you who clicked on this video. Thanks for giving our channel a shot. And if you will, please do us the honor of watching the video all the way through. Appreciate it. Now onto the video.
Hello fellow 8-bit heroes. Today we're going to talk about a subject that has been going through this channel for quite some time, but we're really going to address the root causes of this particular subject. What am I talking about? Well, today's question is, why do black audiences settle for tokenism instead of demanding original black characters? So let's get into it. Everywhere you look nowadays, you can't help but hear about representation, diversity, and inclusion. People online seem to want to see themselves in every piece of fiction like it was a magic mirror. Let the access media tell it, there were never any black folks on TV or in movies. So our gracious corporate overlords have, out of the goodness and kindness of their hearts, decided to give poor black audiences some characters and stories that we can see ourselves in. From the upcoming Hercules film, which allegedly is starring Michael B. Jordan, to the Wonder Man project out of Marvel, which will be starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen, or this year's Little Mermaid, which starred Haley Bailey, or Wally West in The Flash, or maybe even Valkyrie from the Thor films, and the list goes on and on and on. With so few original black characters, we should be grateful to studio execs that they would be so willing to let black audiences borrow their unused characters, especially when the number of original black characters being exhausted after Black Panther is so few. But was it always this way? And should black audiences be content with these offerings? Well, to set the stage, I grew up in the 90s. During that time, the superhero film genre was about as popular as Dan from Street Fighter. But that didn't stop filmmakers from experimenting like your college roommate did with acid. But something that was popular at the time and was gaining more and more traction with each passing month was urban black culture. During the late 70s up through the 80s, urban black culture had become mainstream, culminating in the late 80s, through the 90s, and into the early 2000s, with stars like Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop, TV series like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air starring Will Smith, and Martin starring Martin Lawrence. Even hip-hop, from the stables of Bad Boy, Death Row, and Wu-Tang Clan, had Billboard-topping hits. And even in comic books, with the likes of the Milestone Revolution, led by Dwayne McDuffie, rest in peace, and Dennis Cowan, selling out in comic shops everywhere. It was at this time that filmmakers started to experiment with the superhero film genre. And we know whenever there's an experiment to be done in America, it gets done on black populations first. Whether we're talking about Tuskegee, taking fathers out of the home, or crack addiction. When the powers that be aren't sure that something they are testing will work or go over with the larger population, they start with unsuspecting black folks, and Hollyweird is no different. As with everything, there's levels to this though. Whether we're talking about the first black superhero film with an all-black cast, nope, not that one. Despite Disney's best efforts to gaslight us, Black Panther was not the first black superhero film with an all-black cast. It was in fact the cult classic Meteor Man in 1993, starring, directed, and written by Robert Townsend, Eddie Griffin, Marla Gibbs, Bill Cosby, James Earl Jones, and even featured Luther Vandross. And even one of the most popular comics at the time, Image's own Spawn in 1997, starring Michael Jai White. But it wasn't until later in the decade when the first mainstream Marvel project gave legitimacy to the superhero genre was released and the floodgates of cash were opened. Nope, not that one. No. It was in fact in 1998 when one of the most popular black action stars, Wesley Snipes, donned the leather duster and the worst fade we've ever seen since Nino Brown in New Jack City. Marvel had a real hit on their hands and let Hollywood know that superheroes could be profitable on the big screen. So with this franchise, you would think that the flood of black heroes from Static to Brother Voodoo would be getting films and TV series. Well, just like your prospects on prom night, I'm gonna have to disappoint you. Sadly, this did not happen. After the formation of the Marvel Studios, black characters were relegated to either being in the background, like the character of James Rhodes, aka Rhodey, aka War Machine, or being race swapped like Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury. It wasn't until 2016 that black audiences would get their first appearance of T'Challa the Black Panther, played by the late Chadwick Boseman, and Luke Cage, played by Mike Coulter on Netflix. Surely these projects must have bombed though, based on the output of original black characters currently. Nope. Both were resounding successes despite Marvel's current head honcho Kevin Feige not really believing in the former and having nothing to do with the latter. Black Panther was greenlit under the leadership of Ike Perlmutter and was as was the Luke Cage series, which is ironic because after ousting Perlmutter, both Kevin Feige and the current CEO of Marvel, actually of Disney, Bob Iger, used their arm of the Access Media to paint Mr. Perlmutter as a racist, even though all the black characters, or all the original black characters, were greenlit under his leadership. Black Panther went on to have a solo film that, despite not being the best showing of the character, had the best domestic box office of any of the solo Marvel projects, mostly due to repeat viewings by black audiences. And Luke Cage was so popular on Netflix, it actually broke the service during its premiere. So with these successes, surely other studios would take notice and promote the use of original black characters. Again, sadly no. DC and Warner Brothers relegated Cyborg to a side character under Joss Whedon, and it wasn't until the Snyder Cut, which came out under the original director Zack Snyder, that we found out that the movie was actually supposed to be centered around Cyborg. But then the damage had already been done, and after that, the black audience was treated to more tokens than a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party. So why didn't black audiences demand more original black characters after having so many hits that they supported? Why didn't black females demand a Storm film, or that the first Captain Marvel or the first female Captain Marvel be Monica Rambeau, since that's how it is portrayed in the comics instead of Carol Danvers, or a Princess Tiana film instead of the hand-me-down Little Mermaid? The very women that say they wouldn't settle for a date at the Cheesecake Factory have accepted hand-me-down heroines time and time again. Fellas, don't think I forgot about you. Where were the demands for Static, Cyborg, Jon Stewart, Blue Marvel, and the rest? Well, it comes down to the perception of legitimacy. Black audiences don't see the value in our own characters and stories, so when we get sloppy seconds like Falcon being Captain America when he was already his own hero, some of you guys clap like trained seals, not realizing that Hollywood is playing in your faces with characters that will eventually revert back to factory settings quicker than a bad Windows update. So next time you see another tokenized version of a previously white character, remember, we've had better and we should demand better in the future. With that being said, guys, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section, whether you believe that we do deserve better and we deserve original black characters, or whether we should be satisfied with the meager offerings and tokenized versions of characters that we've been getting. So that being said, I'll see you on the next one. 8-Bit Heroes out. Peace.
If you'd like to get a shout out on the channel, then hit that like button, maybe share it with a couple of friends, and do us the biggest honor of all, and subscribe to the channel so you can join the 8-Bit Heroes family. And while you're at it, hit that bell icon so you can be notified when our new videos come out.